Hey, look, fans, how's everybody doing? I hope everyone has had a good weekend, enjoyed some football, some hockey, some sports, some family, some food, and then you had some luck with your picks. Hockey was it was all right on the weekend. I mean, there was some good hockey, but picks were not great, that's for sure. I mean, nice win for Washington over Carolina, nice win from Minnesota over Tampa, but Philly didn't hit on the best bet, and then on the parlay, Minnesota hit, but Chicago didn't. Picks were 3-3. Wasn't great way to do a Sunday, but it wasn't terrible either. We're going to try to start Monday off on a positive direction and see how we can get the week going. Monday, there are only 4 games on the board. November 29, 2021, we got Seattle against Buffalo. Buffalo has Dustin Tokarski listed to be in net. 3-6-1 in their last 10 with an overtime decision. Seattle has Philip Grubauer listed to be in net. They're 3-7-0 with a current 1-game winning streak. On Saturday, Buffalo was in Detroit where they took a 3-2 loss in overtime. Jeff Skinner, he was able to tie the game with just over a minute and a half left to give Buffalo a much-needed point, although they did end up losing the game. Tokarski with a good game, even though a loss, stopping 38 of 41. Tage Thompson with 5 goals in his last 5 games, now 10 on the year. Rasmus Dahlin with 4 assists in his last 5 games. Power play also sits at a respectable 11th position in the league. So Buffalo's playing some okay hockey, just not consistent enough to make any traction. Seattle coming off their biggest win of the season yet. Saturday, I mean, everyone's talking about it, how they handed Florida their first home loss. 4-1 final for the Kraken. Seattle was outshot 34-27. Goaltender, former Florida goaltender in net for the Kraken. He was able to stop 33 of 44 from his former team. Seattle won an impressive 72% of the puck drop battle in that game. Had a nice complete game against Florida. 1 for 2 on the power play. Last 4 games for the Kraken, I mean, you got to think they're figuring something out. I mean, 5-2 win over Washington, 2-1 win over Carolina. A little hiccup, 3-0 loss to Tampa, but now a 4-1 win over Florida. The stats don't tell you that really, but I mean, pretty impressive and a nice trend to pay attention to. This will be the second and the last time these teams meet in the regular season, November 4th, I think it was. The Seattle Kraken won in Seattle 5-2. The last win against Florida, you got to also think, was a road game, and that's where Seattle hasn't had a lot of success. So pretty impressive that they were able to win a road game against a Florida team. Money line is Seattle minus 140 or 1.71. Buffalo plus 120 or 2.2. Over under set at 5.5. I like the Kraken on the money line for that game. Arizona and Winnipeg, game 2. Winnipeg, Connor Hellebuyck listed to be in net, 4-4-2 in their last 10, current 1-game winning streak. West Central Division matchup here. Arizona 4-5-1 in their last 10, current 2-game losing streak. Karl Vejmelka listed to be in net. The Jets ended their 5-game losing streak in Calgary when they won 4-2. Having some success, this Calgary team, so it was quite a nice win for the Jets to end their skid. Thought it looked like it was going to be a long night for Hellebuyck and the Jets when Calgary opened the scoring 26 seconds in. Just over 7 minutes in, it was 2-0 Calgary. And after that, it was all the Jets. 2 goals from Kyle Connor, 1 from Paul Stastny, 1 from Andrew Kopp. And Hellebuyck, I mean, stood on his net to keep them in the game. It was awesome. Winnipeg was able to stay in 3rd place in the division by getting that win. Currently, one of the better home records in the division. Playing a Arizona team that is in last place in the division and seems to have found its losing ways again. Lost Saturday 3-2 to Dallas, the worst goal differential in the league at minus 38 and the worst by a considerable amount. Some highlights are that Travis Boyd scored 3 goals in his last 5 games. Clayton Keller with 7 points in his last 5. Just hard to win games when you're sitting in 31st in penalty kill, 30th in goals against, and 32nd in goals for. This is first of 4 between these two. Moneyline has Arizona as a big dog, 3.4 or plus 240. Winnipeg minus 300 or 1.33. I actually like the puck line on Winnipeg, and I don't talk about it much because I don't play it much, but I do like it in this game. Pays 1.83 or minus 120. I also like the over at 5.5, 1.8 or minus 125. Third game, Vancouver against Montreal. Montreal has Jake Allen listed to be in net, 3-5-2 in their last 10. current 1-game winning streak. Vancouver has Thatcher Demko listed to be in net. They're 1-8-1 with a 4-game losing streak. Montreal off a big win Saturday when they doubled up the Pittsburgh Penguins 6-3 and put a stop to their winning streak. Huge night for Jake Allen. I think probably the best of the season so far for him, stopping 47 of 50. But the Canadiens, they were 0-4 on their power play where they sit 29th. They sit 29th in penalty kill, 31st in goals against. So although it was a good win, Jake Allen has to continue playing hockey like that, and the team has to continue scoring goals. That's what has to happen. Toffoli, he's leading with 6 points in his last 5. Josh Anderson with 3 goals in his last 5. And Ducharme, he's just going to be looking to keep this team focused. More changes in Montreal, obviously, with Marc Bergevin and a couple other management relieved of their duties. So trying to keep the blinders on and keep the direction going forward is going to be tough for the coach. Vancouver, last place in the Pacific Division, back-to-back action here after going to playing Boston, taking a 3-2 loss. They had a 2-1 lead in the game going into the third. They just couldn't close it out. Shots were 38-42 in favor of Boston. Vancouver was 1 for 4 when on the man advantage, but when down a man, giving Boston the man advantage, they let Boston convert 2 of 3 of their opportunities. Halak, he was in net against his former team, definitely looking to get his first win, and would have been great to get it against his former team, but just came up a little short. 2 power play goals in the third just ended that game. 9 losses in the last 10 games for this Vancouver club. And there's a chance that Sam Montembeault might play in net for Jake Allen. You got to think with the way Allen was peppered in that last game, but we'll have to wait to see game time decision, morning decision after skate probably. First meeting between these two, they're going to meet twice this season. Historically, Montreal's done well over Vancouver, carrying a 22-10 record. Moneyline has Vancouver as a dog at plus 105 or 2.05. Montreal minus 125 or 1.8. I like the way Vancouver's been showing up. Even though they're losing these games, they've been outshooting their opponents or actually being right in there with their opponents. So one of these times they're going to snap out of this skid, and it could be here against Montreal. I like the visiting dog. I think there's good value there. I like Vancouver in that game. Last one, Pittsburgh against Calgary. Calgary has Dan Vladar listed to be in net. They're 5-3-2 in their last 10. Current 1-game losing streak against Pittsburgh that has Tristan Jarry to be in net. 6-4-0 in the last 10. Current 1-game losing streak. Saturday, the Flames had Winnipeg in town. They outshot the Jets. We've already talked about it a bit, but they outshot them 36-28, 1 for 4 in the power play, but it ended as a 4-2 final for Winnipeg. Calgary had won 4 in a row before that loss. This game against Pittsburgh is the last one at home before heading out on the road. Currently in second in the Pacific Division, 1 point behind Edmonton. Flames historically have struggled at home. Their record's starting to show that again. The media is all over it. Road record is really good, but home record's not so good. I see the Flames coming into this game playing 60 minutes of hard hockey just to shut the media up on this topic. And obviously, just, to get a win before heading out on the road. Johnny Gaudreau with 9 points in his last 5 games. Andrew Mangiapane with 5 goals in his last 5. Elias Lindholm with 4 or 5 assists in his last 5. And Vladar, he brings in a nice record, a 4-0-1 record, 1.57 goals against average, and a save percentage of .945 with 2 shootouts on the season. Pittsburgh also off a loss, a game against Montreal when the Canadiens came into Pittsburgh, defeated them 6-3. Pittsburgh outshot Montreal 50-33, 1 for 3 on the power play, but just couldn't get too many past Allen, who had a great night. Pittsburgh's like Calgary, right? They were on a little winning streak there before they got halted. Tristan Jarry's been a big part of Pittsburgh getting W's. I mean, brings a 10-4-3 record, 1.91 goals against average with a .936 save percentage, 3 shootouts on the season. Jake Gensel leading in production with 5 points in 5 games. Top 2 teams when it comes to penalty kill. Pittsburgh's in first, Calgary's in second. But you look at some other stats, you look at power play, Pittsburgh's in 28th, Calgary's in 7th. Goals for, Pittsburgh 16th, Calgary 7th. Goals against, Pittsburgh 6th, Calgary 1st. Last regular season between these two, and they're both going to be looking for a bounce-back game. They met on October 28th. Calgary won that game 4-0, and Markstrom got a shutout. So always a chance he'll be back in net, but I think Vladar will play. Moneyline, plus 120 for Pittsburgh or 2.2. Calgary, minus 140 or 1.71. Over-under set at 5.5. I'm going to go best bet Winnipeg on the money line. I'm going to do 2 parlays. I'm going to go Vancouver money line and Seattle on the money line. That's one. Second one, I'm going to go Winnipeg on the puck line with Calgary on the money line. And Arizona, Winnipeg over 5.5. Calgary to beat Pittsburgh, Vancouver to beat Montreal, Winnipeg to beat Arizona, and the Seattle Kraken to beat Buffalo. There's also a football game on. Seattle against Washington. I think Seattle's overrated. Pete Carroll's making too many bad choices to coach right now. Washington, good defensive team at home. I think is going to win the game. Those are my picks. Hope everyone has a great start to the week. I'll be back on Thursday to do a video for Friday games. Thanks for watching. Take care. Talk soon.